What's going on, guys? This is Delist J here, and I wanted to discuss the DYP Delist trade. I've gotten quite a few questions about how do you play Delist? What does that even mean? So I wanted to discuss that and let you know how I played specifically DYP, and several other Delist plays have played out almost the exact same. So let's take a look here. So I posted on the 6th when Coinbase posted that they were going to delist DYP. So before any delist, there is always going to be an announcement from Coinbase, if you're trading on Coinbase at least. Other exchanges, sometimes they just delist, sometimes they'll give you a warning. It just depends. So follow your exchanges and keep up to date with coins that are going to be delisted or coins that are going to be added. So in this case, I got a notification that DYP was going to be delisted. So if you look at the date here, it's on the 6th. So let's take a look at the chart. We were trading at roughly 21, 22 cents on the 6th. And then you'll notice the 7th, there's a sharp decline. The 8th, an even sharper decline. As the news hit, people started to sell off their positions. So this is what the chart looked like on that day. So if you zoom out here, it was by far the lowest it had ever been. So it kind of traded in this 0.2 range for some time. If we go to the daily, that 0.2 range held for several months. And as soon as that broke, it made all-time lows. So the lowest it had gotten to was 0.07, 0.06, and it dropped all the way down basically to that very low point of 0.06 roughly. So actually we'll take a look here. It dropped to 0.0536, which is awful close to the previous lows over here, actually a little bit below. So with these delist plays, I honestly cannot tell you why, but usually they will have these massive sell-offs. So in this case, it was a 50%, over 50% drop. And that is easy money, because if you measure now from here all the way up, that is over a 600% bounce. So literally buying anywhere in this whole range would be profitable, and some, because it bounced way past where it was trading before the delist announcement. So again, what I look for on delist plays, first of all, you look for an announcement that something's going to be delisted. Second of all, you wait for people to actually digest the news. You wait for people to get home from work and finally sell their positions. They will start to panic. The price will drop. And if you're patient and you keep nibbling, keep buying as it drops, keep buying as it drops, and then sell on the bounce, it's pretty easy money. I couldn't tell you why, but 90% of the time, maybe more, coins will bounce after a delist announcement. I have no idea why that is. I don't know if Coinbase buys up the supply so that people don't get upset, but usually there is a lot of buying activity. So actually, let's take a look here to show you even further why this trade was so interesting to me. So if you take a look here, the volume's not all that crazy because this is a DEX, and the volume's just not really here. Most of the volume for this token was on Coinbase. That's another thing that is really important. You always want to be following the exchange that has the most volume being traded. So for instance, if I'm trading Bitcoin, I'm usually looking at Binance because they have the most volume. So you're usually going to get the most accurate price that way. It's not always the case, and sometimes low volume can actually be beneficial. However, most of the time you want to be following where the biggest volume is at. So with that in mind, let's take a look here. So I have a screenshot of the order book here. Unfortunately, this is one of the few that I got. But if you look here, I know it's really grainy, but there was a $200,000 buy wall at 0.099. 200,000. So that's right here, 200,000, 0.099. So that's, roughly here on the chart. And look at how far it went after that. It went over 300%. So another thing to keep an eye out for is large orders out of the ordinary or on the books. So in this case, 200,000, way out of the ordinary. When you see large buys like that, usually it means that either a pumping group or a single person that has a lot of money is going to push the price up because they know that the book is thin. So in this case, the book got really thin as all the sellers continued to sell. They were panicking. And somebody that had a lot of money said, okay, well, if you're going to panic, I can prop the price up. I have enough funds that I can now basically push the price wherever I want. And that's exactly what they did. So it ran, after they had bought up the supply, it ran up that 600%. So let's see. Other than that, I announced it in my Discord as it was falling. If there is anything else, any questions that you have about what else to look for, feel free to ask. But that's about all I have to say for now. That's kind of the gist of delist plays. Basically, wait for an announcement. You buy before they actually delist it. So in this case, they gave a date. So it closed on the 17th. That's when trading ceased on Coinbase, at least. And actually, you can see that as soon as it ceased on Coinbase, it immediately tanked to zero value because you couldn't trade it anywhere at that point other than at DEX. So yeah, that's how I trade delist. They are crazy moves most of the time. This was one of the most insane trades that I'd had in a while. But really, that's all there is to it. You just layer into the trade as it falls, layer out of the trade as it goes up. I never pretend to know exactly where a coin is going to go, which is why I layer. So yeah, again, if you have any questions or anything, please let me know. But I hope that answered some of your questions.